Oh,
Hi,
hey,
India.
everybody.
So we're live, darling. Hi, everybody who's joining. We're just going to talk for a little bit like we normally do, and then I'm going to do a little reading, and then I'm going to toss it over to India for her information. I never quite know how these are going to go. So that's sort of our random general plan. Okay.
Our plan, no plan.
Our plan, no plan. Right. So, so first of all, I want to say thanks everybody for joining. The Empress Club subscription piece is live. I've done that now. So I'm putting all of my twin flame videos in there. So it's like 19 something a month. And so you get all of the videos. So I just want to have them be in one place. And so any of y'all who are looking for them, that's where you find them. There's a link. There's a link below, or I will put a link below. Okay. The other thing is this live is amazing to me, feels really huge. And India and I were just talking before we came on about this big energy of Aquarius. Okay. I am, full disclosure, I'm Venus in Aquarius. So it really, to me, feels enormous today. I'm having all of these like insights and downloads and all kinds of stuff. So I want to sort of bracket this information that we're going to be bringing to you today with this idea of what Aquarius, let's do a little bit of astrology here. Okay. So the Aquarius rules the 11th house, and that is about community, right? It's about bigger stuff. It's about your tribe. Okay. There's a lot here for me and for some of the folks I've been talking with today about expansiveness of ideas, visionary, where are we going with this tribe kind of thing. And I want to say that the cool thing to me is Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is a lot about surprises. It's just a lot about like, boom, right? These cool things that happen. And because Aquarius is air, things move fast, right? It's just like you think it, and I think, Indy, you just said this, you think it and you manifest it. You think it and you manifest it.
It's happening so instantly now. It's like the minute you hear something come out of your mouth, you look around and there's some evidence.
There's some evidence of it. The
train exactly how you envisioned it when you said it, but it's coming in somehow. So it's like, be aware is the message I keep getting. It's like, just be aware, because you are seeing so much that you may not even realize you're seeing. I don't want to go on a tangent, but also been getting the 4 of Cups a lot. So it's like,
yes,
see the gifts that are coming in. Don't be grabbing them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a really good point, India. So I also want to say this too. My message that I'm getting is expect surprises, expect big surprises, expect the unexpected. And the cool thing to me about this is, okay, so Aquarius is your brow chakra, is your third eye, right? Aquarius is your third eye. It's also connected with your root chakra. And I found that I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense to me. And then I started reading about, well, it's Uranus, but it's also Saturn. So it's this earth sky thing. It's like the being grounded and then manifesting from this big sky. So having your feet on the ground, feeling the earth, being, manifesting a physical reality by allowing the vision to be as big as possible. So whenever you're manifesting today, which I highly recommend, and we're talking about manifesting with this new moon right now, it is in vibration with your higher consciousness. It is in vibration with, I'm manifesting the love of my life, and I'm releasing the idea that it's an individual person or that it has to look a certain way, like you're saying, India. And I'm, it's sort of like when I was growing up, I used to say my wishes, like when I was blowing up my birthday candles, was like, I wish for this. And always in the back of my head, or something better, right? It was like, it's like, I want a purple bicycle or whatever else is really cool out there that needs to come in, right? I didn't realize I was manifesting with my birthday candles, but I definitely was.
Yeah.
And right?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I think Jen was saying to me, she's like, it's sort of like when you ask your parents for a bicycle for Christmas and you keep on pounding to them, like, that's all I want, that's all I want, that's all I want. And so they were kind of really willing to get you a car. And you're like, all right, well, we'll just get her a bicycle, because that's what she really wants. So the other story I want to say to you about manifesting, and I think we're going to do a lot more on the channel about manifesting. You know, Indy and I have been talking about this. We talked about it in Florida, which is about like really opening yourself up to all the possibilities. It's like your brain can't really wrap yourself around this, what all is available to you. So the things you can do about manifesting really is about, you know, clearing clutter, allowing things. And now that we're in the new moon here, this is really the time to put in your order. So I'm going to ask India to tell her sandwich story, because I really think this is and I won't tell the story I told you, India, but there is.
It's a good one. It's a great one.
All right. Well, go ahead. Maybe I'll get the courage to do
it. Like added the gentle version, I guess.
Okay.
So, are you going to tell yours, or am I going to tell
your sandwich story? You're
They're two very different analogies. Two very different. But you know, something that the guys have flowed through me before is, you know, when you're hungry, you walk into a sandwich shop, and you know you're super hungry, and just picture yourself walking in. You're like, you talk to the people taking your order, and you're like, I want a sandwich, and they look at you, and they're like, okay, you know, what kind of sandwich would you like? What kind of experience would you like to have with your sandwich? And you just keep repeating, I want a sandwich. I want a sandwich. I have this one sandwich in my head that I want a sandwich, you know, and you're not giving them any information. You're not describing the experience you want. They're giving you every choice in the world. So you have to say, you know, I want the turkey sandwich with tomato and da-da-da. And sort of just describe the experience you want. Then once you put in that order, you're not standing there hovering going like, am I going to get my sandwich? Where is my sandwich? I wonder if I'm going to get food. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get food. Am I? And if you did all that, they would probably kick you out. And that's sort of what the divine does. It's like, all right, you're not in the frequency. Like, no,
you're not ready.
You're
not ready for a sandwich.
Yeah, you're not ready for a sandwich. But it's like you put in the order, you release it, you go relax, you have the knowledge that soon you'll be eating the sandwich, and you know, hey, it might be like this turkey sandwich I've had before, or it might be this best turkey sandwich experience I've ever had in my life. But you are releasing all of that because you've put in your order, you know, you've done your part. You know, you stop just sort of looking and going like, give me a sandwich. And then you can release and trust that you're going to receive, you know, your order or something even better. And something else about manifesting that we so often kind of skip over, you know, we know how to make the list. We know how to make the vision board. We know how to say like, I want this, that, the other. What the other piece that is so important is feeling what that's going to feel like to you, embodying the vibration, because that is the language that the universe, that spirit speaks, is the vibration, the feeling that you're putting out there. I want it to feel, you know, this is what abundance feels like to me. If I had this love, this is what it would feel like to me. And really picturing yourself in that life, or with that person, you know, hopefully when you're picturing a person, you're kind of, you know, not putting a face on them, just picturing the feeling that you want to have. And then projecting that out, the universe and energy and just the divine law will embody that in the physical. That's just how it works. It also does include, you know, that trust of, okay, if there are stumbling blocks, if it appears that my vision's not coming in, whatever, I'm still trusting because I know I've put this out there. Because what we tend to do is, you know, we get a hiccup or something doesn't happen and we're like, see, it's not working, you know, and then we throw all kinds of other blocks in there. So it's the releasing part so important, the feeling, the vibration part is so important. And what Mary Jo is saying about, you know, being specific with release. It really throws our minds for a tailspin sometimes, and it goes against the conditioning, because we're conditioned to feel greedy if we're asking for a lot. We're conditioned to feel like, oh, you can't talk to God, you know, and tell him what you want. But God literally says, ask. And you
Amen to that. Amen to that. And I want to add a couple of things here, India, because I'll say the light version of my story. But when people come, one of the most often asked questions I get is this really wishful thinking? Like, I'm seeing a bunch of cards here and I'm kind of just like wishing it to be so. I'm like, and like, that's part of manifesting, is you do have to sort of wish something into existence. You really do. Fantasizing. Think about the moments in your life when you find yourself fantasizing. That's what manifesting is. And you're putting the feeling, what India's talking about, putting that the love coming through your heart chakra, just really feeling it. Callie's daughter, one of my best friend's daughters, she went to audition today for college to be a musician, go to music school. And what I said to her, they were talking about technical skill set of, playing the cello and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, just feel joy when you're playing. Just feel the music coming through you. Just feel that joy. That's really how you're going to manifest becoming a professional musician and doing what you're doing. The other thing I want to say is my dad was an Aquarius, and my brother's an Aquarius too. And so there's a lot of Aquarian energy. And one of the best things I always recall about my dad was that he was a big corporate CEO. He wore a lot of suits and he flew a lot of places, and he was very seemingly untouchable, right? He was like this big person to me. But I never forget, the coolest thing about him was I used to come up, because, here's me wearing my tutus and pigtails and all this kind of stuff, sitting on the lap of this big corporate executive. And I used to say to him, like, these crazy little ideas that I would have, like, why don't we go and do this? Maybe we can make pudding and put that on the cake instead of frosting. Wouldn't that be fun? And he would always be sort of very conspiratorial with me and be like, why not?
Ooh,
Let's try. And it was just such an amazing thing to have that. It was like validation, like I'm being seen by this person. And it was also this like, why not? Yeah. Right? This just very whimsical kind of experience. And so, the man in that gray flannel suit, being able to house those two different things, where he was very grounded in his worldly experience, right? But then being able at the same time to have this vision and be able to share a 6-year-old's vision.
And I love that you share that, Mary Jo, because what it does for people, it helps us to see, because so many people were raised with the opposite of that, where they would be just children in their pure spirit saying, yeah, I want this, I want that. And then they had parents who said, you can't have that. That's ridiculous. Right. You're setting yourself up for disappointment or any number of other. That's not.
I got that too. Don't get me wrong. My mom was there.
But you're showing the difference. You're showing the difference in conditioning, because on some level you were conditioned to believe in your dreams. By your dad, you were conditioned to go with that. Yep. Which is beautiful affirmation. And it makes us realize, like, oh wow, if the reverse is true, I can flip that, because it was just something coming from someone else's mouth. It was not fact. It wasn't truth. If someone was saying, no, you can't have that, that's ridiculous, who do you think you are, that kind of thing. No. That's just something else that was conditioned into your mind. Because,
go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say one more thing, which is anybody who does need proof that manifestation is real, that it's not, quote, just wishful thinking. If you look at your life and you see even the situations that you don't like a marriage that didn't work out or a job that didn't work out, whatever, you can look back at that and if you're really looking, you can really see how you manifested that situation. Because you can say, oh, well, I was coming from a place at that time where I was really focused on this, or I was afraid of this. You can see the direct result of that. So we all have proof in our lives of those things manifested, good or not so great,
Amen. And I think the important thing to know about that is then once you see something in your life that you don't like, that you wish to change, or you feel like you want something else, it's important not to go and beat yourself up, but for manifesting that, because there's always a lesson in everything we manifest. And so you can just say to yourself, I have another very good friend who, with her children, there are choices. They have made choices, right? And they chose this instead of that. They did this instead of that. Whatever it was. Okay, it's caused this situation. How do we move to a place where you want to be? So there's not this feeling of like punishment, or this negative, like, oh, I did this to myself, and I just deserve whatever I got because I brought this on myself. Yeah. Though it's true that you did bring this into your life, now you get to make another choice.
Yeah.
And you learn something from it. You always learn something from it.
Yeah. And Mary Jo, someone just popped up a question I just saw that I would love for us to address together. The question was, does manifesting override God's plan? And what's so beautiful about that is that God's plan, and what, you know, what we're even told in the Bible, you know, and in a lot of rich religious texts, is that it's a co-creative process. God is saying to us, you know, there's a lot in the Bible, and I wasn't raised religious, but I just know that there's a lot in there that says, you know, God gave this power to man. God gave this, you know, and then of course, you know, ask and ye shall receive, and all of that says God wants it to be a participatory process. You know, God, or the universe, however you look at it, wants and created us to be creative beings with God. So to say, you know, hey, God, this is what I envision and think would be really cool, it doesn't override God's plan, because that's the surrender part. You're saying, but whatever you have in mind, God, you know. So the little thing I always say, the little mantra that sort of gets me in the space, is I'm like, you know, I want this, and I'm envisioning this, and thank you for this, but thy will, not mine. You know, thy will, not mine. So it's like you're turning it over, and you're like, this is everything I would love, but you know, your will, your timing, your orchestration, you know, turn it all over.
Amen. And you know what? I can't see the chat, India. You're gonna have to teach me how to do that. I don't know, but if people
have to pull it up on my phone separate and like watch it.
All right.
If you're a viewer. And then you can see everybody.
I'm such the technology genius. Oh my God.
But yeah, there's some great things. And a couple people said things about like confirming what we said about that conditioning. Like one person said, I wanted to have a band, and my mom said, we can't let strangers in the house, like things like that, that condition you to like put the kibosh on those things that your heart wants. So much of the process is, that's why we have to do so much healing, is to clear away those blocks that are mental, that are fear. And once those are cleared away, once the fear blocks are cleared away, we are just an open channel for the divine to create through us. And the divine is the one, by the way, the divine, God, source, spirit, universe, however you look at it, is the one who is putting that desire in you. So who do you think gave you the desire for the love you want? I'm getting so many spirit chills. The love you want, the life you want, the abundance you want, that's God. So to say, does it override God's plan? That's sort of saying, like, does God's plan override God's plan?
Right, exactly. That's true. All right, you're such a genius, India. Now I have
spirit. Here. It is.
So, thoughts become things, definitely. So hi, everybody. Now I can see the chat. Yay! What is the best side to read when it comes to love, Sun, Moon, or Venus? Someone said. I want to address this a little bit, because I really resonate with my moon. Moon is your heart. Okay, so your sun sign, I'm not an astrologer, but this is, you know, these are the things that I have paid attention to based on what I'm doing with the tarot work. So your sun sign really is who you're becoming in this life. It's also who you were, what you're manifesting in this life as a being. Your moon sign is what's in your heart. Okay, that's distinguished from the Venus sign, which is what you see in other people that attracts you. And your rising sign, isn't your rising sign what you were in your last life? I believe that that's true. So I am a fan. I particularly find my moon sign to be extremely strong. But I just want to say this, as someone who does general readings every day, that there is a time when I run through a stripe of like, wow, I'm really resonating with all the Aquarius Venus stuff. And then it sort of trails off for me. It becomes a different story that has nothing to do with me, right? Same thing with my sun sign Sag. I have not resonated with that periodically, you know, over the course of things, depending on where I am. So when you're watching general readings, I do recommend just, you know, what if that, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about all the readers on YouTube. If their titles pull you, if you're going to spend your earth energy, your life energy to watch that video, I guarantee you there is a message in there. And I am talking about everybody who spends any time doing this. So pay less attention to the sign than to the message in the description. I feel like that is kind of lost. People are, well, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm always a Sagittarius, and that's what I'm going to do. But if you're pulled to that Virgo reading for some reason, you know, we all have everything in our chart. There's everything, right? There's the main guys, which is the sun, moon, rising, Venus. But we all have some combination of all that other stuff. So if you're being pulled to a Virgo reading, watch it. Watch it, because there's something there for you. And just trust that that's the truth. Okay. I know we've gotten way off.
Or have we?
Or have we?
Yeah.
So I know Sagittarius love. Yes, I want Sagittarius love too. I did the readings I did today. I want to say this to you, India. The readings I did today, very much in this expansive mode, because I had just done a meditation about what is the Aquarius new moon. What message do I take from this? And I pulled some cards. I want to say this out loud here. There's something here about the relationships that we used to have when we're really envisioning what love is to us. I honestly feel very strongly, and I think this is the twin flame stuff. I think it's soulmate, whatever you believe. You don't have to believe in any of this for it to be valuable information for you. Is that we're creating new kinds of relationships that are based on freedom. It is not going to look like, I mean, we've only chosen our love partners ourselves for maybe the past 150 years. Okay. And we've been a whopping success at that, right? Haven't we? So before then, it was like a family would choose a life partner for you based on, mutual family benefit or power or money or something along those lines. Now the relationships feel like they may start in love, but there is a lot of money contract that go on. A lot of people don't move away from relationships because of money and other contracts that come apart or come about during that relationship. And so what I want to say to you guys is that the new way, this is again manifesting in a big way with the universe about, yes, I want this soul deeply connected love. And I'm not going to dictate what it's going to look like, because I don't think we know.
Right.
I don't think we know yet what that experience is going to be when it's about freedom. Think about that. Because when we talk about commitment, the words that go along with that, and when I look at my own history, when I look at my own my friends and family and everything like that, there's some real benefit to security and other things, but there's some real things that get pulled away from people when that happens. So there's something new that we're manifesting here as a collective. There's something new that we're bringing into being that is expansive and different than what we know. And so I'm going to challenge everybody who's watching on this to really, when you're manifesting today about having a love partner, having a love partner, I'm getting distracted by the chat now.
Wasn't such a good idea.
That's great. But like having a love partner,
yeah.
It is sort of like, and however this is, what is this going to look like? Right? I want a committed love relationship. Great. So out to the universe it goes. I want the person who's in alignment with my highest purpose. I want to be in alignment with their highest purpose.
And whoever the divine says that is, because there are a lot of questions popping up about, how do I know if this person's right for me, if that person's right for me? How do I know? You know, because you're trusting the divine. You're saying, this is what I'm asking for. You're embodying it yourself. If you're being your own, and I know this sounds really, trite, but if you're being your own perfect divine partner and you're embodying self-love and you're saying, okay, I am in that vibration of love. I'm giving myself all of the things that I'm wanting to receive from someone else. And you're doing that in a very pure way, out of fear, out of ego. That partner will have to materialize into your life. That's just, like we said, divine law, divine order.
Right.
So there's no need for the question of, is this person right? Are they not? If you're being self-loving in every moment, which is the ultimate challenge, in this moment, what's most loving for me? In this moment, what's most loving for me? What's most loving for you is automatically what's most loving for everyone else. So if you're in that vibration, that human reflection of that, human embodiment of that has to come into your reality.
Amen to that. And I just saw, Emmy, hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I want to address this situation here. She's asking about channeling different energies from zodiac signs. So I want to remove your brain, powerful brain here for a minute here. And what India just said is about aligning with messages. Whenever I do a general reading, And whenever we're talking about manifesting love, or we're talking about manifesting, we're releasing the idea. We're asked it's all about the intention. I'm sorry, I'm getting mangled up here. It's all about the intention, and it's all about the question. What is the question you want answered? And what is the intention you have? The intention I have is to channel information for Cancer. Okay. Channel the information for Cancer. So I trust that what's coming through me and what I'm seeing, it does feel a little bit different. Sometimes the earth ones do feel heavier. Sometimes the air ones do feel faster. Sometimes, but not always. Okay. Because no one is a pure sign. Okay. No one is a pure sign. In fact, some days I'll be more Aquarius than I am Sag. Some days I'll be more Sag than I am Gemini. And there's a purpose to all of this, because things are constantly moving, and you're constantly working through situations, and different parts of you have better capabilities in that way. So what I want to say to you is when you're reading, if this is a question about reading, or if you're a question of reading for yourself, your intention is, please bring me messages for my highest good. Please bring messages for Gemini watching, for Gemini people who are connected to the message, because not all Geminis are connected to the message.
And when you say, that's also the same intention to set when you're watching readings. You know, bring me readings that I need to see, and then just know that whatever you're guided to watch, that's what you're being guided to see.
100% right. That's 100% right. So, all right, I want to make sure we're doing all the stuff I thought we were going to do today. So, all right.
That happens to me.
I know. So back to the Aquarius, manifesting with the moon here. Woo! My intention right now is to ground in the information that we want to deliver to you, and also be able to expand. I feel that, Aquarius. Do you feel it? I mean,
God, yes. Oh, yeah.
I'm totally like feeling all of the stuff. Like
let's just talk about everything under the whole sun. Like right now, let's talk
about every
direction.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So the Uranus Saturn thing is kind of cool. If you want to read up more about that, that's really kind of cool. Aquarius is this very visionary kind of, every single thing that's going through. This feels like, so to Emmy or whoever was saying that, this is the energy of Aquarius. So we are channeling right now Aquarius vibe is exactly what we're doing. Don't you feel like that, India? Yeah,
I want to start singing the song.
You know what song I have in my head right now, and I will start my reading right now, is it's from the 60s, you know, like I Can See Clearly Now, The Rain Is Gone, that song.
Oh, yeah.
And I have been channeling that song for a couple days. I've been listening to it in the shower and other stuff. Yeah. Like, I can see clearly now. I'm not going to sing it. You don't want me to, but
yes.
Not in my range. It's not in my really. All right, so I'm going to do a reading right now for everybody watching here. My intention here is to bring messages to those watching, and for watching live and watching after we finish here. So this is going to be on the channel. So whoever is attracted to this information about manifesting in an Aquarian mindset, that's what this feels like we've been talking about. Here we go. Let's see what is happening, and what can I bring to the collective watching that is necessary and important for them in an expansive way that also keeps them grounded. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been feeling this for about, I don't know, a couple weeks now, since the full moon anyway, that all the purging that's been happening, the attachment to a particular person or attachment to a particular outcome has been in service of this Ace of Cups.
And you know, something really strong that's coming through when I see that is I just got this message of just receive. It's a message for everybody here. It's like everyone's, you know, how do I manifest? How do I manifest? How do I manifest? And yes, the moon is powerful for that. Right now, what needs to happen also is that we're just receiving what you've already manifested. It's coming in, like we said in the beginning, you know, make sure you're grabbing that cup that Mary Jo just showed, because it's there. So many gifts, so many things are coming in that you've already co-created with the divine. Keep manifesting, keep broadening your horizons, keep expanding that vision. but also focus on receiving, because that's an important part of the process, is receiving what's coming in now.
That's true. And it's like, I want to say this to you, India, that's kind of amazing. The Four of Cups is right in the middle of this reading.
Yeah.
It's like, so the cool thing here that comes up with the overarching energy of the reading is Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. So that is about being in your passion, being confident, right? Groundedness and expansive. This is a wand. Okay. This is Queen of Wands is very passionate. So it's like, and she kind of has her legs open a little bit. There's a lot of sex energy flowing through here today. I don't know why, but it's sort of like that is the cradle of civilization here. This is where all things come from, is from passion, right? That's, you're feeling the passion is really what's bringing things in. So there's somebody that some of you are dealing with. I'm going to say this, there might be a third party situation here. Could be somebody through work, but they're trying to work their way through this. Okay. Somebody, and you know, we talk about a lot of times that third party doesn't necessarily mean that they're in another relationship. They could have addictions. They could be living in another country. There's just something in the way, all right, of it being, you know, a together kind of a thing, right? And so this person is escaping an old situation, trying to work their way through to this celebratory thing. And there's something, I talked to Jen Huber this morning, I know you did, India, at some point, talking about March, that now are putting in our order right now is about manifesting this situation in March. So I feel like you're going to see some things. This is in the middle here, 4 weeks, the 4th month. So March into April. Be careful to see the thing coming toward you.
Yeah.
Because it is Two of Cups. You got Ace of Cups, Two of Cups here.
And again, it may not look like, you know, you envision, you know, going back to the sandwich analogy, you know, that amazing sandwich gets presented to you and you're like looking at that like, that doesn't look like any turkey sandwich I've ever had. But if you would like pick it up and eat it, you'd be like, whoa, this is blowing me away. So it's like, you know, when it comes in, just grabbing it, trusting, and saying this must be, you know, as good or even better than what I was trying to manifest. Yeah.
Correct. So for example, if you've had a certain person in your mind, okay, and you are in alignment with manifesting the love of your life or whatever, and someone comes around that isn't that person, I'm going to suggest to you that you may want to do a meditation, or you may want to, you know, just sit down and get quiet a little bit and be like, is this what I'm supposed to do? If this person offers something to you right now, I feel like you need to open yourself up a little bit. And because you look at this card, I always find this card very interesting, because you see, she's clearly escaping from something. She's moving away from something not so good to go towards something better. I don't think she knows the guy driving the boat. Okay. I don't think she knows it, because she's looking back at him like, yeah, really? This is who it is. And I also want to say that it might be the person you're envisioning, but they might look a whole lot different because they've gone through a radical transformation. So
and if it's not the person you envision and it is someone else driving that boat, what Mary Jo was saying, what I just heard when she was talking was rejection is God's protection sometimes. So remember, like, if you felt shut out from someone and then love comes in this other form and you're reluctant to move into it, are you being protected through that seeming rejection with that other person? Could that be God protecting you and sending someone else in that's right for you? Just something to, like Mary Jo said, something to meditate on when and if that happens.
I mean, the key really is, I mean, the interesting part here is look at this bottom line, which is the relationship, which is the Fool, Seven of Cups, and Death. So what that says to me is that there's a lot of choices here. And you can, you know, I mean, the Fool just takes a leap of faith and doesn't really think. There's no wisdom here, okay? This is somebody who's just like completely jumping off and like, woo, whenever comes my way. What I feel is necessary is that there needs to be some kind of groundedness here, because we're talking about manifesting with the Aquarian moon. Don't forget, there's a Saturn piece, okay? The Saturn piece is the root chakra, the grounded part of you. So grounding yourself, thinking about, you know, just sort of getting into a meditation and getting into that place and like, okay, what am I, you know, am I Is this the direction you need me to follow? Is this in alignment with my highest good? That's the question, okay? And that's the intention. So just see what comes through, because man, it can be very confusing. I feel like that 7 of Cups is very confusing. Let's see here. King of Swords, India. Seriously.
Again, there he is.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, we had a conversation before we started. These are the two people. Knight of Pentacles, King of Swords. And like the middle part is like, which one is it? Which one is it? So the King of Swords is the Aquarian energy here. And I'm not suggesting that everybody's going to have an Aquarius. What I am suggesting is that the groundedness that needs to happen, channeling a little bit of groundedness here, right? Allowing for the new thing to come in. You're going to be a little bit confused and maybe verschimmeled a little bit about this situation. It's going to show up. It's going to be a little bit confusing for you. And the only thing that matters is the connection, your connection to the divine. And India, you and I have talked about this a lot. If all you're in is in alignment with God,
amen.
That's it.
Because God will bring in a physical person for you to reflect that, because that will complete the flow of that love in, love out, and love to God. And, so when you're in alignment with God, you can know that's coming in. Something else that just came through with those two cards, with the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, is one is the mind, one is physical real life. So like, is there, if you're talking about two people, is there one where it's like kind of, all of the mind and sort of, like we've talked a lot about mind games and stuff, and one where it's like, this is real rubber hits the road stuff happening. Love is really coming in. Could it be that kind of thing? And maybe the Knight of Pentacles doesn't look like what you envisioned, that, real life coming in, but what does it feel like? That's the real test.
That's true. And the thing is, these are blocks, Hermit and 6 of Cups. This 6 of Cups is the past life soulmate coming back through. I feel like that's something that might have been blocked because it doesn't look like it's supposed to look, or something like that right now. And so you're going to want to walk towards your Hermit, walk towards your guides a little bit more, and move away from, it must look like this, it must have this feel to it, or it must have this experience to it. Because I think the feeling, sometimes we get wrapped up in what we think is love. You hear me? What we think is love, and we're not really experiencing it. We're thinking our feelings. And so this whole idea of maybe we've blocked the messages that need to come in to us so we can see what is transforming our lives. Boy, that's pretty deep, guys. That's a pretty deep message here.
Yeah.
Let me just get some messages to you from the true soulmate that you need to hear right now.
Because how could that person that's right for you come in if those blocks are there? There had to be something to make those blocks be released, right?
Holy cow. Yes, India, yes.
What came out?
This is the mess. Wow. King of Wands, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Ace of Swords. So this is about being in your truth about the love you're looking to manifest. The 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups are the ultimate feelings about this. The Ace of Swords, every single place in this reading where I get a cup, I get a sword. I get a cup, I get a sword, I get a feeling, I get a thought. So there's a lot of needing to know your truth, right? Speaking your truth. And there's power here. There's the King of Wands. We've had the Queen of Wands here. So what I'm going to say to you is, I feel like this message is, this person that comes in is going to be perfectly in alignment for the highest level of feelings that you are manifesting. This person is going to take action. That's the King of Wands. And you are speaking your truth when you're manifesting it. So be very clear about what you're doing as you're manifesting this person. They are going to be exactly in alignment with what you're manifesting. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. I like that the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, I always love when this shows up. Of course, I'm such a Sag, but there you go.
And just to complement what you just said, what just came out here is release and trust, as if spirit Spirit's like, let me just be as clear as possible. Release and trust. That's everything. Everything you just said. Just, you know, you get in vibration with it, you release it, and you trust that it's coming in, and it absolutely is. And we're just getting confirmation about that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Crystal.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. This is really super cool. I know I'm not usually this geeked out, but I do love it.
I know it's really neat to see the super chat. Yeah.
I totally dig it. Aquarius here. Hello, everybody. Hi, Renee. Hi, Tiki.
Maybe eventually, if there's a super chat, we can like answer specific questions.
Yes, I think that would be great. I think that would be great. Ace of Cups. Yes, lots of purging. Thank you. Hi, Australia. Hello, Australia. Hi, everyone.
May I share a couple things that are coming out that are part of what you're talking about as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine deck here by Jessica Cristobal, I think her name is. Cristobal. Now that I've said it, I got it backwards. Christabel Jessica. Okay. Please, mention me unless you're going to just butcher my name.
Oh, dear.
So, okay. Goddess of Power. This is Lilith. It's Eve. Also she has this apple, she has this serpent. So it's absolutely about moving into that co-creative power with the divine, knowing you have the divine wisdom, knowing that this ego, that's represented by the snake, all that fear, has no control over you, has no power. You have tamed that, the way she's holding that confidently. It's like Britney Spears with the snake. It's like, you have no fear. You can work that. You're aware of it. It's like, yes, ego stuff pops up here and there, but you're aware of it. Thank you, BJ. Wow. Okay, so then.
BJ.
Yeah, BJ. So God of Battle as well. This is really significant because one thing that I have been shown a lot right now is while we are not in fear anymore, because this is us having shifted out of fear through that healing, through that awareness, through that faith, it is important to stay very aware. Awareness without fear. That's something Jen Huber and I have been talking a lot about, shamanic guide Jen Huber, a lot about, because it's about knowing that you are being guided, you are being protected, you are being moved into all your manifestations, but still energies, negative energies are going to kind of snake through here and there. They're going to try to knock you down. That's just what the, darkness, whatever you call it, is going to do. So it's just being aware. It's just, and knowing that you're suited up in that divine armor, that you are protected. Part of that awareness is here with this boundaries, having those boundaries, having to exercise those. You'll see those tested in even little ways in your daily interactions. It's like, okay, you're this new version of yourself. Let's see, and you will have opportunities here and there to just kind of show more and more that you are in that divine power, just like that first card. And then you have union, communion. And this is, and this is what we've been talking about, being in the vibration of this. What does it feel like for you to be in communion? And that is communion with the divine reflected in another person. So beautiful, just staying in that vibration of this and, being aware of those other energies that are going to come in, fear-based, ego-based, but just no fear, not resonating with the fear, just knowing, okay, thank you that I'm divinely protected. It is a really good idea right now to just sort of amp up your energetic protection. Do it like you brush your teeth. You brush your teeth twice a day, cleanse your energy twice a day and ask for that protection, because there's just going to be things that try to sneak in here and there and knock you off of that centered, place of manifestation. But you are in the zone is what I'm getting from.
Thank you, Tanya. I see Tanya.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So that's it for that. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm just kind of blown away by this because what was the other stuff I was talking about with Jen Huber this morning? I wanted to make sure that we talked about. The Aquarius is exalted in Scorpio. So when we get this kind of death energy here coming through, know that it's a spiritual transformation. Okay. It is in this, when we're manifesting with this new moon, it is in order to have a spiritual transformation, and not just you, but others aligning with you. Okay, I'm getting that message really strongly. So let me just look at my notes here. And she talked a little bit about, I mean, Aquarius is the sign of groups. It is, I was very surprised that it wasn't aligned with your throat chakra, but because it is about letting yourself be heard and seen by your tribe. So everybody watching, like all y'all have found your way to these channels and found your way into this spiritual work. And there are, I'm sure, hundreds of you who are part of this community that are also now needing to be seen. Okay, it's about now lighting your own light and being seen, you know, even further, right? Being expanding on what the work we've already done, so that as things move forward, and I am saying really strongly that March is a big deal. Tomorrow marks the Chinese New Year. It is the year of the Earth Pig. And that happens to be very fortunate for almost everyone not almost everyone in the zodiac financially. There is a very positive energy to the Earth Pig year. Okay, especially if you were born in the year of the pig in your own, you can look that up in Chinese astrology. But just know that this is the earth plane and the sky, right? We're manifesting in a big way something that's bringing to groundedness, something that is in a pentacle way. So I can foresee where if somebody might offer you a cup, you might not see it, where what India was talking about. Because it's offered this way, you might not see it. But what if it's offered as a pentacle? You know, and what that would look like is someone wanting to spend time with you, or somebody wanting to give you a physical thing, as opposed to, you know, saying I love you. They want to give you something physical. So these things might be, I don't want to say they might fool you, but you just might not be available to them. Yeah. So just open up be expansive in your allowing right now.
That's beautifully worded. Yeah, expansive in your allowing. And a couple questions that have been posted up are about, you know, I feel so drawn to this person. And I actually personally have heard people this week saying, men and women that I'm doing readings for, saying, I just can't release this person. I can't get this person off my mind. I feel so drawn to this person. And really, it seems simple, but the best thing to do, if that's happening, if you're trying to move into, like Mary Jo's saying, you know, what is available to you in the physical, and you're still just so drawn to this other energy, even if it's only energetic, just sort of ask your guides, ask God, you know, what is this trying to show me? What is this connection showing me? What is this connection pointing me to? Because I guarantee you, whether it's the person you're going to end up with, quote unquote, or not, that pull is trying to reveal something to you about you. That's all of that is, no matter what their role in your life is or is going to be. So to stop and go, wow, you know, God, I am still feeling so drawn to this person. It's painful, you know, all those things. What is that? What are you showing me? And you will be shown, you know.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I love that. And I feel like, as we're talking about these things, as we're talking about manifesting today. So I don't know how much y'all are in or know about manifesting, but I do want to say this to you, that in the very most simplest way, like, okay, this is kind of, whenever the moon is in a certain element, that's the kind of thing you should do. So if the new moon is in a water sign, then taking, you know, a cleansing bath or something like that really is in the element. This is in Aquarius, so this is in air, right? Which is, it is about thinking. The thing we're doing today is really sort of working with your thinking, working with how you're, you know, opened up to new things coming in your life. And you know, a spiritual bath is always great, right? Do that cleansing kind of bath to get energies away from you. What I did, and this is what Jen Huber and I were talking about the other day, I have windows on my house all over here, and I got some of those window markers, you know, that you put the car prices on the front window. And I wrote my manifestation, my intentions, and what I want to manifest on the windows.
Yeah.
That's clear, right? It's air. right? It looks, that's the clearest, you know, you're writing on
Yep, that's exactly what Jen does. Yep.
Exactly. And so I did that. And, you know, tonight during this new moon thing, I continually, it's right in my place where I do my readings in the morning. I see it. And then later I'm going to just release it. I'm going to, you know, erase it all, right? I'm just going to release it to the universe and just sort of be in the space of like closing it and being in gratitude now for what's coming.
Yeah. You know, what's a really cool thing to do, if you do write down your manifestation somewhere on paper, you can write them down. You can even attach like time frames you have in mind. You can say like, you know, by the spring, I envision, you know, that I feel this way, and I'm doing work that makes me feel this way, and I'm with a partner that, you know, this and that. You can write it down however you want to, you know, with the intention that you're co-creating that and then releasing it. What's really cool is to do that. And then, you know, as time passes, go back and actually, you know, put that paper away, release it, and then go back and read it at some point, you know, ideally a few months down the road. And you will see like, oh my gosh, this happened. Not exactly the way I had in mind, you know, but this thing, it's definitely, you know, this vibration has come into my life. This one has come into my life. That's the challenge, is to, you know, to see where it's coming in the ways that spirit is sending it in, and release the mind's categories of, but it's not like this.
It's just, so, you know what? It's just so much more subtle than I ever thought it was going to be.
Right.
It's subtle, but it's way more powerful in some odd way. Yeah. Right? Like, you know, when we were traveling, things were, you know, something didn't work, and so something else did work, right? And there were things like that just, you know, you just kind of like, oh, you know, like my Don't Stop Believing thing in the middle of the night that one time was really kind of amazing. Yeah. I'm just going to pull a couple cards here, India, from the Romance Angels, just for those watching.
And just to add what you're saying, it's literally just surrendering to the belief, and it is faith, that every single thing in every moment is happening for your greatest good and highest purpose, no matter what it is. Whether it's challenging, painful, hard, difficult, great, it's all for your greatest good and highest purpose. When you truly get in alignment with that, knowing it, it just changes everything. It makes the hard things easier. You know, they're still hard, but you know that. Not questioning, am I being spiritual or not? Yeah.
I just want to say, this is kind of interesting to me. These cards are amazing. The first one is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. I hardly ever read the stuff on the bottom, but I'm going to do that now because I feel like we're talking about feelings. We're talking about, you know, really flowing into those feelings. Even though this is an air sign, new moon, the feelings are the gasoline of the manifestation. And then I got soulmate, reconciliation, honeymoon. Seriously, India. Like, we say it here and it comes out there. It is. Yeah. I push a button and then that happens. Yeah. It's like that. And the clearer you get with your intention. So the last thing I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to leave you with this, is really focus on your intention. Really focus on your intention and the feeling of what you want to experience. And all the rest will handle itself. So, you know, just trust that is true. And if you want to go back through my, you know, journal since 7th grade, we can show you where all this stuff has materialized based on, I put in my order for that turkey sandwich and I have faith that they're going to make the sandwich.
And it's going to be awesome.
And it's going to be awesome. So, all right, guys, it was lovely to hang with you today. And now I'm no longer a virgin of the super chat. So woohoo, right?
Thank you to everybody. I'm glad we were able to interact with people this time. Maybe we'll be able to do a little more. And it's just awesome. Thank you. And
we will do more. And Colleen is coming up with some ways where we're going to have, we are going to bring Jen Huber on. I don't know when, but it's going to be soon, probably before March, I'm thinking.
I'll give you her website for the description too. So
Yes, please, because I really want to recommend her.
We mentioned her about 15 times. So
I know, she's a fantastic shaman.
Yeah, and thank you, Mary Jo, for allowing me to be part of this with you again. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, India, always my pleasure. It's always wonderful to have you. And we'll be doing this again very soon. Look at Jen Huber just texted me. Seriously. Maybe she's watching. I don't know, but okay.
Felt the energy of us talking about her. Right?
All right, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.